Hello everyone, this is Kona, and thank you for tuning in to another TF2 commentary. Now in this video, I wanted to talk about what is a tryhard. Now what are the qualities of a tryhard? Because I'm sure people have either played against and seen tryhards on servers, or they've gone into tryhard mode themselves. So I wanted to kind of give my perspective on what I think a tryhard is, and a lot of this can apply to other games, but I've noticed this a lot in TF2. Now when I play against other people in public servers and I try to look for these tryhards out there, one of the things I've noticed, or what I consider a tryhard, is the fact that they're usually my skill level or better. And the reason I say that is because if I'm playing against someone who's not as good as me, I can't really tell that they're trying hard if they can't really kill me. Now tryhards also understand the importance of team composition in TF2. In pub servers, the reason why most teams win or lose is because they had better or worse team composition. I'm sure we've all been on teams with 3 snipers and 3 spies, and you probably know how that usually ends up, right? Yeah. And this is one of the reasons why team composition is so important. Tryhards understand this, and they will switch to classes that contribute the most to their team to try and win. For example, if I see that my team doesn't have a medic, I usually switch to medic, even though I don't really want to, and I may not feel like playing medic at the time. I know that a medic will really benefit my team. Now this applies to other frontline classes as well, like the heavy. Surprisingly, I see a lot of times that we don't have a heavy on our team, and I'm guessing it's because the heavy is kind of a, oh, dang, come on, no chance against that Devil Knight. But yeah, the lack of heavy, I'm guessing it's because heavy is kind of a boring class to play. I'll admit, it's one of the most boring classes to play for me, and maybe that's why I don't see a whole lot of heavy sometimes, even though the heavy is a really important class, especially for something like MBM. In MBM, some people can get away with a lot of engineers, and that's great, but on this map in particular, I've noticed that the engineers are very slow because this map is gigantic, and so having a heavy, basically a heavy is kind of like a moving sentry basically. A heavy is really good at having high damage output and the ability to move around very quickly compared to something like the engineer. Also, the heavy has the ability to shoot down crit rockets, or rockets in general, but they're really useful for those crit rocket soldiers, because if you get the upgrade that allows you to shoot down projectiles, it basically makes those soldiers pretty harmless. Now, in addition to knowing which classes to play, I found that tryhards also know which loadouts to use for each particular class, which ones are the most effective. Now, this question of which are the best loadouts for each class, this is a question that really has no defined answer because everyone plays each class differently and everyone likes different things about each class because all these different weapons allow you to completely change the playstyle of these classes. Now, after trying out all of these weapons, I tend to gravitate towards certain ones when I'm going into tryhard mode. For example, when I play Spy, my tryhard class is usually a regular knife, usually a strange because I have some stranges, but the regular knife because there's no real special gimmicks, Dead Ringer, and the regular revolver or maybe the ambassador. That's my tryhard mode Spy loadout. Some other loadouts that I may tend to try when I'm not trying hard are things like the kunai. By the way, I absolutely hate the kunai. I don't get that weapon. I can never get it to work, but if I'm in the mood to have a little bit of fun, I may try it. But I know that when I do try that, I'm not going to be getting a whole lot of kills and therefore not contributing much to my team. How could I not kill that guy? Come on, he was standing so still. Now, some other tryhard weapons are usually ones like the default weapons. I found that the default weapons work really well, and let's say for heavy, for example, right? For heavy, the minigun is actually a really good weapon, and all the other ones, they have their little perks and stuff like that, but I've noticed that I can't get the same amount of kills, or I can't, I just don't feel comfortable with it, and I can't get the same performance when I'm using something like the Brass Beast or the nerfed Tommy Slab. I'm kind of disappointed that they nerfed the Tommy Slab. That was a cool looking gun, and now no one uses it. Now, I'm not saying that tryhards always play these certain weapons and they don't play anything else. I'll admit that when I'm not in tryhard mode, I fool around with other weapons that I know are not that great. But when we're losing, especially when we're losing, and I'm feeling like I'm hurting my team, I try to switch to an effective class or an effective loadout that will contribute the most to my team. And I've noticed that tryhards do this as well. If they're playing Spy or something like that and they're not contributing as much, you know, they might switch to Heavy or Medic or maybe even a Pyro if they're really good at Pyro. I know a lot of good Pyros that I play with that they just seem to get so many kills as Pyro, and I just can't seem to find them because they always come behind us. Ah, so scary. Now, I don't know if people remember a time when first-person shooters was all about team deathmatch. My very first-person shooter was Medal of Honor Allied Assault, which was a game on the PC, and I think that game mainly had team deathmatch. I think that was the main thing, or free-for-all, but it was mainly about killing, and that is pretty much it. But games have evolved since then, and you'll notice that, at least for me, I think TDM is one of the most boring game modes. When I go play Call of Duty or something like that, I never play team deathmatch. I always play objective-based games like Domination, and in the case of Team Fortress 2, pretty much all the game modes are objective-based. With the exception of MGE, I guess you can say, but otherwise, you know, it's not really about killing. The killing is just there so that you can complete your objective. By the way, watch this fail. I thought I had him fooled, but of course the Pyro is so effective on this map. I think it's because that point is such a small point that Pyros can just rush in there and kill everyone. I hate that point as a spy. But anyway, back to playing the objective. I think tryhards understand that, you know, this game is an objective-based game, and they like to play the objective. This is their goal, is to win the round by playing the objective, because you don't win the round by getting a lot of kills. It just so happens that usually the team that gets the most kills is the one that wins. But really, if you want to win the round in TF2, you got to play the objective, whether it be payload, capture point, king of the hill, whatever. Now in TF2, there is one map that I guess people consider the for fun, you know, non-tryhard map, and it's this one right here. It's High Tower. You know, usually when you go on High Tower, you see people troller jumping and failing like me, or demo jumping, or maybe sniping from the balcony, or doing something like that. And usually people are not pushing the cart. In fact, when I see people pushing the cart, I'm kind of thinking, oh, they're such a tryhard. They're pushing the cart on a for fun map that, you know, all we're supposed to be doing is killing people. We're not supposed to be going for the objective. Now, that's not a fair comparison here, because right now I'm actually playing on the fish server, and the fish server, this map is only in the rotation for one round, so we have to kind of play the objective. But on 24/7 servers, you usually see people not playing the objective and just having fun. By the way, I call this hill right here, this hill, I call it Tryhard Hill, because if they ever get the cart to or up that hill, they're a tryhard. I mean, you have to try really hard to do that. But yeah, for 24/7 servers, I usually consider High Tower a for fun map that the objective just doesn't matter. No one plays the objective. We're just here to have fun, play around with all the different weapons of TF2. Now, my question for you guys is, what do you consider a tryhard or the qualities of a tryhard? Oh my gosh, the sentry. Let's look at it. I hate when people put sentries on this map. It makes rocket jumping not fun. But yeah, what do you consider a tryhard, and do you go tryhard mode, whether it be in MVM, regular pubs, or perhaps lobbies or competitive? Let me know in the comments below. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.